Hi, and welcome to your week 2 Canvas English Language Arts support video. Make sure that you have done week 1 before you try to do week number 2. It will be a lot easier to navigate week 2 if you have already done week 1. So week number 2, the title of this is The Wolf You Feed, and you'll figure out why that's the title of this week's work as we go. So just as a reminder, anything that's blue is something that you can download or click on, and then purple are tasks or action steps. So it's we're asking you to do something if it's been put in purple. So this week you've got 3 parts: attending to details in multimedia, which is really similar to the first part in week 1, where you looked at pictures. This week it's a video. Number 2, how skillful readers approach text, which doesn't actually require you to do anything. There's just a few documents it wants you to look at. And then number 3, actually using those documents to read and understand a new text. In this case, it's an article. Your goals: we hope that you learn how to use questions to guide your approach to reading and to analyzing text, as well as reading and analyzing informational text. If you are in Mrs. Smithman or Mrs. Freeman's class, you will have a link here. This will, if you click on it, will take you to a page that is full of support documents and extension activities. This video will be listed on this page once I'm done creating it. There is a Quizlet to help you learn vocabulary words here. There's a crossword puzzle download. And then there is also a YouTube playlist of additional Native American folklore and folktale. So if you are really interested in that and want to extend your learning, there are extension activities in here. All right, step number 1 is to watch this video. And as you're watching, they want you to think about what information or ideas does this text present. So go ahead and take a quick second, pause this video, get on your Canvas course, and watch this video of the 2 wolves. All right, after you have watched the 2 wolves video in its entirety, so the whole thing, you have an optional journal prompt here. You do not need to send this to anybody. You can write it on your computer if you want. You can write it on a piece of paper. It's optional. You don't have to do it. If you're wanting to work on some writing, though, they want you to write a paragraph on the following questions. So how do you relate to the idea presented in this Cherokee story about the battle for good and evil inside of us all? And what other stories or cultural depictions of good versus evil can you think of? And then the second step is to rewatch this video using the graphic organizer to guide your viewing. Now, if you are on here for help with Miss Vogel's class, your graphic organizer is going to look a little bit differently than this. It's just basically the coloring, and then you won't have the central idea or the detail support within it. That's completely fine. It's about this. It's the same information. It just looks slightly different. So go ahead. You want to make sure that you click on this blue link here, and it is going to download your guiding questions document, which is this one. So you're going to want to have that open as you rewatch the video. So before you rewatch the video, think about what information or ideas does this text present, and just jot a few notes or type a few notes in there. What information did they give you? When you rewatch it a second time, think about what is the central idea. So what do they want you to learn? In this case, it's almost more of a theme than a central idea. So think about what is that overall message that the grandpa is trying to give to his grandson in the video. How do you know that? So list your details and then a concluding sentence. You then have 4 questions. What human qualities does the grandfather link to the evil and ugly wolf, and why? What human qualities does the grandfather link to the beautiful and good wolf, and why? What is the meaning of the grandfather's answer to the question, which wolf will win? So remember, the grandson asked, well, which wolf wins? The grandpa had an answer. What does that answer mean? What do you think it means? And number 4, how do the details of the boy's experience in the print version of the legend change our understanding? I would skip this last question because we don't have a print version of the legend. We only have the audio version. So don't worry about answering number 4. If you're in my class or Mrs. Freeman's class, there's also a link at the bottom of your document. There are a lot of people who say that how this video ends with the way that the story ends isn't the real or true ending. And they say that it has a different ending that changes the meaning. So if you're interested in hearing that alternative version and hearing how the ending is different, go ahead and click that link and watch that video. Part number 2, like I said, is really simple. It's just getting to know the tools that we're going to be using. So we have 2 documents here. We have our guiding questions handout. This you actually were introduced to last week. This document looks a little bit different from last week, but the information is all the same. So you have questions and things to think about before you read, which is in green. You have questions and things to think about while you read, which are in yellow, or on your first read, your first time reading through it. And then you have things in red, which is when you're done reading, or like when you are on your second read through. Reading closely, so really trying to read for understanding, often requires us to read things more than once. So that's why with the yellow, it might be your first time, your first read through, or while you're reading it the first time, whereas red will be you'll have to go back into the text to answer some of these questions and really think about them. That's where that reading closely comes in, as it's going back into the text multiple times to try to analyze that information. And then you have the questioning tools text tool. This is the document that if you are wanting to turn something in to show us your work, this is a document that you're going to turn in. So make sure that you click here, questioning text tools 2. Make sure you click on that so that you can download it. You're going to type your information right into here, save it on your computer, and then upload it to us. I am going to actually download this so I can show you how to upload the file for your assignment. So we're going to click, we're going to open it. And here it is. You'll need to click Enable Editing before it will allow you to type. And now I can type right in this document. And you'll notice we've got green, just like so. These colors, the green and yellow, correspond to the colors on this first document. So if you're struggling with what type of questions to generate or what type of information to put in here, look at the colors that match. That's all you need to do for part number 2, is just make sure that you have those documents ready. All right, if you are in Mrs. Freeman and Miss Smithman's class, you will have a glossary of vocabulary words here. Make sure that you go through these words before you listen to or read the text. The text this week is pretty difficult, but there is a read aloud available. You'll be able to just listen to it being read. There are also, remember, this website that I clicked on earlier has a Quizlet for you to practice these words, as well as a crossword puzzle if you're looking for something fun to do. But we've got our vocabulary words here. We have suckle, den, regurgitate, wean. This word is rendezvous. This is a hard word to pronounce if you've never seen it before. This word comes to us from French. So this is rendezvous. Patrol, scarce, disperse, bide, natal, inextricably, deprive, tense, repress, subordinate, ignorance, mundane, urinate, and defecate. And then, of course, you can go through and see what all of those definitions are too. Right here is where you're going to click to listen to the read aloud. So another teacher within the district has recorded herself reading this article down here. So if you get to reading it, it's a little difficult or it's a little long. You know, it is almost 2 full pages long. So if you would rather play it while you read along to hear that, go ahead and click play. I'm going to go ahead and pause that, but that shows you how that read aloud function works. Then they want you to open, or we want you to complete this questioning text tool. And this is, remember, the one that you'll be able to turn in if you want. That is this document right here. So you're going to use these questions to guide your thinking. What words or phrases are powerful or unique? What do the author's words cause me to see or feel? And what words do I need to define to better understand the text? Are there additional words in addition to this glossary that you need to know or understand in order to understand the text? So what you're going to do is you are going to do just this first section. So what is your purpose for reading? Why are you reading? Thinking about, are you reading just for fun or enjoyment? Are you reading to learn something? Are you reading to write an essay? What's the title? The author? The type of text. So this is an article, so you would write article in here, or you would delete these other ones out of here. Publisher is who wrote it or who published it, which is right here. The Wolves and Moose of Isle Royale Project published this article. The date that it was published, now all we have is a year, and that's okay. So 8 years ago. And then what do you already know about this topic? Questions you have for your first reading. So after you've read through it once, what are some of the questions that you have? And remember, if you struggle on this, go back to the yellow portion on your original document. So thinking about any of these questions, you might be able to put in there. And then read it. They want you to read it a second time, making or asking more specific text questions. So those could be additional questions in here, or it could also be some of these red questions, thinking about what details are most important. But we want you to try to make them specific to this article. What questions do you have about this article? When you are done, I just want to show you too that support page to get here with the Quizlet and the crossword puzzles at the bottom of the page as well as the beginning. You're going to click here to submit your finished text tool. Now yours will look different than mine. I am in a teacher view. You will have, actually give me a second, I'm going to switch to student view. All right, I have switched over to student view, so this is exactly what yours should look like. You will notice that it says that you are submitting a file upload. That means you're going to have to upload a document for your for submitting work this week. Remember, that is this document, and it gives you your directions here. So we finished 1, 2, and 3. We can upload our completed questioning text tools here. You need to make sure that it's saved to your computer first so that you can upload it. If I just typed all of this in here and then I go to upload it, this isn't actually saved on my computer with my work. So I am going to go ahead and click File, Save, and then mine pops up here. I like to save things to my desktop when I know that I'm going to be turning them in right away. So I'm going to do questioning text tools, and I'm going to add the word done to it, so that reminds me that this is the done version. I'm going to click Save. And again, I recommend saving it to your desktop just because it makes it a lot easier for you to find where you've saved this document. You don't have to save it to your desktop, whatever works for you. You'll click Submit Assignment, and then you'll notice all of a sudden this file upload has popped up. I'm going to click Browse, and now I need to find that document. Well, I remember that I saved it to my desktop, so I'm going to click on Desktop. And then if I click on this, I should have my newest documents right at the top. And here you'll see questioning tools, text tools, done. You'll then click Open. It's in there, but it's not submitted yet. You'll then click Submit Assignment, and your assignment will be submitted. Remember, it says assignment, but all of this is still optional learning. You submitting it is just a way for us to see that you did the work. And then if you are wanting feedback from us, or if you want us to see what you did and how you were doing, that's how you would communicate with us. And at this point, your week 2 learning is done. Remember, if you're wanting a little bit more, you can always visit this website. This is updated. This same website is updated every week. So you can bookmark this page. We've got a Quizlet here that you can use, as well as a crossword puzzle you can download. So if you click here, it's going to take you to those same words that were in our Canvas in that glossary. You can do flashcards, you can do Learn, which will help you actually learn the words. And then they do actually have some games down here as well. Match and Gravity are going to be the games that you can play on your own to learn these words. All right, remember, if you have any questions, make sure that you email Mrs. Freeman, myself, or Mrs. Vogel, or your classroom teacher. And we hope that you are staying happy, healthy, and safe. Have a great day.